Those pictures are more relevant today than ever before. In 1979, the US Embassy in Tehran was overthrown. A moment that has shaped America's relationship with Iran. A moment that firmly put the Ayatollah in power and started one of the biggest diplomatic crises in US history. 43 years later, America's relationship with Iran remains at rock bottom. And the latest comments coming from the current US president are raising the risk of a fresh conflict. Joe Biden is taking on Iran. Yesterday, he vowed to free the country. Listen in.
And so, we found out that a lot of our soldiers, more people are coming back from Iraq, Afghanistan, with serious brain injuries and tumors than any other war in American history. Other than the Civil War, maybe more amputees are coming back than in any wars in American history. And those burn pits, don't worry, we're going to free Iran. They're going to free themselves pretty soon.
Don't worry, we're going to free Iran. Those were his exact words. So what are Joe Biden's plans? What does he mean when he says we are going to free Iran? Was that just rhetoric? Or is America planning some kind of an intervention? On Gravitas tonight, we'll try to read between the lines. You heard that statement from Joe Biden. Now let's get you some context. The US president is quite busy these days, campaigning for the Democrats ahead of the midterm polls. He was in California yesterday. It was during this speech that Biden said what he said on Iran. Did Biden plan that? Or was it instinctive? We cannot say for sure. Journalists tried to ask the White House Security Council, but they didn't respond. However, Biden's words seem to have gotten some kind of crowd support at least. While he was speaking, supporters held up their phones. Their screens were displaying this message: free Iran. For 7 weeks now, thousands of people have taken to the streets in Iran. The regime is facing a massive uprising. It was ignited by the death of a 22-year-old woman. She was in custody of Iran's morality police. These people at Biden's rally were expressing their support for the protesters in Iran. So was Biden trying to rally support on the issue of Iran? It is possible. After all, the Democrats are in a tough position. They seem to be heading towards a crushing defeat. That's why Biden is now on the campaign trail. He's making a last-ditch attempt to win some votes. Is that the reason why he made that comment on Iran? We put that question to an expert today. Listen in.
The election is going. He's feeling the heat. He wants to bring so many issues on the table. He wants to touch so many people about, his foreign policy, because since this administration came to the White House, it's always been a failure when it comes to actually gaining friends, and they've been making enemies rather than making friends. So he's trying to basically sell his point at this midterm election that he would like to free the Iranian people, that he would like to bring the dignity back to the family they got their sons and daughters actually killed in the Iranian demonstrations. So he's trying to play on that.
Well, Biden hasn't made his intentions clear, but his move is clearly a risky gamble. Tensions are already high in West Asia. The first Saudi Arabia had reason to believe that an Iranian attack was imminent. We brought you that report. Some recent reports had emerged. They claimed that Saudi and American assets in the region were on Iran's target. Even the US believed that the threat was credible. So far, nothing has happened. But Tehran has issued direct threats to the United States. We told you about this yesterday. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said that he wants revenge. This is for the death of Qasem Soleimani. He was killed in an American drone strike in 2020. Khamenei also blames the US and other Western powers for the protests in Iran. Today, it was the Iranian president's turn. Ebrahim Raisi attended a pro-government rally, and he issued a tough response to Biden's comments. Take a look.
I was informed a few hours ago that the President of the United States has stated something, perhaps out of absent-mindedness, because these matters would be stated, but this was perhaps the first time I was told he has said he has plans to liberate Iran. Mr. President, Iran was liberated 43 years ago and is adamant not to become your hostage, and we will never become your milking cow.
Yes, the crowd was calling for revenge. Biden's words were perfectly timed for Iran. Like I shared before, today, exactly 43 years back, the US embassy was seized. It happened soon after the fall of the Shah. Radical students had stormed the American mission. 52 Americans were held hostage for more than a year. Since then, America and Iran have remained arch rivals, and one of Biden's election promises was to stabilize this relationship. He vowed to restore the nuclear deal. Biden took office in 2021, but a stable relationship with Iran still eludes him. Perhaps he has given up. A vow to free Iran would hardly serve his cause. Fiery statements that tacitly imply a regime change have hardly ever helped a US president. The past is proof. Remember the time when Donald Trump had threatened Kim Jong-un. He promised to unleash fire and fury. That reckless statement almost brought our world to the brink of a nuclear war. Almost 5 years later, there is a new president in the White House, but he seems to be making the same mistakes. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.